Good evening, everyone. Head coach Bobby Hurley is joining us. Thanks for the time, coach. We'll go straight to questions from the media using the raised hand function. Please use the raised hand function if you have a question for coach. First up, Cam.
Hey, coach, just how would you explain tonight what exactly happened out there?
Well, it was a Jekyll and Hyde-ish effort just because, we battled well in the first half and finished the half very well, had a nice lead, had an 8-point lead, and, it was gone in about a minute. We didn't get to Baum 2 times, and then he got an and one, and we had a turnover, and before we knew it, everything that we had gained, we had given away, and that was an issue. But I thought it was more of the spirit of how we competed that was so disappointing. And so, we got to figure out some things, and we're going to have to make some changes, to who's playing, particularly on our front court, and again, you're disappointed that Remy couldn't have played better as a senior and coming off of such a great game on Sunday. And you would love to see him and Josh play well together at one time, so one guy's not playing well. But, if you look at the stat sheet, it's very revealing what the differentials were, between the 4 and the 5 position. So certainly need to get more production there and figure out a way of how to do it. And then Chris Austin, he's going to play more. That guy, plays hard, competed, didn't put his head down, didn't pout, just battled and gave us everything he had. And as a competitor, that's all you could ask for, and as a coach, that's all you could ask for from one of your players. Just, hey, try and empty the tank out there. Try and, play like you have passion to want to be out on the floor.
Doug.
Bobby, you've mentioned Remy not taking advantage of scoring opportunities, not being aggressive early in games, and yet we saw that again. Can you put a finger on why he's being a little bit more passive than usual?
Can't. And then, I thought he had at least 2, in rhythm threes in the first half that he should have pulled the trigger on. One was in transition. I think Josh kicked it to him on the right wing, and just for whatever reason, he didn't shoot it. And, there were some other examples, and then just didn't have the normal look that I'm accustomed to seeing from him, just out there, with the fire and the passion and flying around the court and doing a lot of what, you guys saw on Sunday, especially in the second half versus Grand Canyon.
Adam.
Hey, Coach, just on the flip side of that, I know you said it'd be great to see Remy and Josh have good games together, but can you speak a little bit about Josh? I know he was kind of the only guy making shots all day, but can you speak a little bit about his performance?
Yeah, I thought he did more than just make some shots. He dove on the floor a couple of times, really mixed it up well on defense. He was really connected to the game. So it was that's what that number is very small, in terms of just who was connected to the game. He and I know making some shots helps and scoring the ball helps. Certainly do that for players, but we got to get more guys playing up to the level of intensity that he demonstrated, in this game.
Cam.
Coach, what'd you tell your guys after the game?
Well, it's, we have to decide if this is important enough to you to commit, the amount of emotional attachment to appear like you're really interested in playing, and competing harder, through the whole game and not just 20 minutes. And it's just mysterious, how how inept we were, in terms of just, competing and giving energy. And, I don't know. It's Remy, I got to really, I got to talk to him and, see, I think he needs to have more of an impact to get guys, more motivated somehow. And I have to try and motivate people. But he's been on some really good teams here. He's been on 3 years of really good teams and won a lot of games that have been relevant in nationally and in our conference the last 2 years. And just wonder how much he enjoys this team.
Doug.
Bobby, when your team's struggling a little bit to kind of find itself, coaches handle this differently. Some let them try to find their way through it and not call timeout. Some call timeout right away. You call timeout at one point, and then you seem to let them play through it. What were you thinking in those regards, and what's your general philosophy with that?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to, see if you can make a run, if you could find another charge. I thought we had chances, maybe Zoe's 1-1, that we didn't get, and then they went and got fouled and they made 2, and I think we had a chance to cut it to 5, instead it was 9. And so there were different, isolated examples of that. And then when they went zone, we just, it wasn't like we had poor execution. We threw it to the high post like we wanted to, if they were in that zone that we've seen and we talked about in scouting. And then we threw it to someone, in the corners, and we had some decent looks and just didn't make any shots, but the whole thing was predicated and based on the way we came out of the half, and, the lifelessness that we had just to compete. And we talked about that, at halftime to really focus on the first 4 minutes.
Last question, Christopher.
Hey, Coach. I know rebounding has been an issue and a point of emphasis for you so far this season, and tonight your team was out rebounded again by 20. Will rebounding still be a point of emphasis for you going forward? And how have you been trying to get everyone on your team to crash a little bit harder on the boards with Bagley out?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's going to be key to get Marcus back in the fold, and Chris Austin's going to get a lot more minutes because he'll battle and fight and compete, and he's got a heart when he plays with a lot of heart, a lot of courage. So, you're going to see more of him, and hopefully that'll help. And there are some different lineups that we could explore with Josh and Marcus and Chris out there, and just going a little bigger. We had to go a lot of small ball today because we just, again, just going by trying to generate some points, and knowing that they were dominating us on our front court through most of that second half, and certainly right out of the gate in the second half.
Thank you for the time, Coach. Josh Christopher is joining us. Thank you for the time, Josh.
Yes, sir.
We will open it up to questions from the media using the raised hand function once again. Please use the raised hand function if you have a question for Josh. Thank you. First up, Hode.
Josh, looks like this team is in a real funk in the last 3 games. Can you put your finger on what the main causes are for this?
I just think it comes down to us coming together. I think this team is kind of like separated, and we have to just be more connected. And I think it starts with practice. I think we have to just, as a team, come together and play hard. I think that's what it comes down to. We got all this talent, but we have to just try to mesh it. And of course, we've had a short time to do that. A lot of new guys, but these are games that we can't afford to lose. We shouldn't lose. We should home court. We shouldn't have come close to losing this game, but we got to take advantage of the moment. We were up 8 at halftime. We have to learn how to capitalize and not let teams feel comfortable. I think Boom came back in the game, and after sitting the last 10 minutes of the first half, and he came in and got 8 straight. So just being able to keep momentum and just wanting it. You have to want it. It's easy to go out there and say it and be pumped up. Out there, just can't give up the whole time. Whether we're up 20, down 20, up 10, down 10, we got to compete. We just got to finish out together.
Trevor.
Josh, full court pressure for ASU has been one of its best traits in recent years in speeding teams up and just kind of getting things on the open floor. You guys tried to do it in the second half tonight. Where do you feel like you're just at with that capability as a team through these first 7 games?
I mean, I think we pushed the ball well. I think we could at this point, the ASU basketball, we just need to be better at everything. So as far as pushing the ball up the court, we need to be better. Half court set, we got to be better. Defensive end, we need to be better, way better. rebounding better, not letting teams feel comfortable in the game. I think that team was real comfortable and they feel like they belonged on the court, which it shouldn't have been that. We should have handled business from the rip. But, I mean, I think it starts with practice. So hopefully going forward in practice, we lock in, have conversations with teams, with our teammates, with our coaches. And then, I mean, we're not even 10 games in yet. So it's not over yet. We just got to lock back in. That's all it is. Lock back in and get back to, what ASU's been. They learned how to win games. Last year, they ran off those 7 straight in a row. That was a really fun team to watch, a super fun team to watch. So I enjoyed going to those games during my recruiting process. And that's what's got me here, being able to see that. So hopefully, we can get back to that ASAP. We kind of have no choice. So I don't have to, be in interviews talking about losses, man. It's not a good feeling.
Jose?
Hey, Josh, you guys were only down by 5 with about 5.5 minutes to go. And can you put your finger on just kind of what happened down the stretch there and why nothing was going well?
Not showing enough resistance. We got to show more resistance. We can't let teams feel like they can do whatever they want. We have a lot of guys. I feel like teams could be intimidated before they play us, but once they get on the court, we give them that comfort and that feeling like they belong on the court. We got to kill teams off the rip. We're capable of doing it. It's just a matter of us locking in and just doing it, just being better, just not letting anybody walk on our floor and do what they want to. It's unacceptable.
Amir?
Yeah, Josh, I mean, you're only a freshman, but it's very clear that you're an emotional leader on this team. What's your method of, keeping your teammates in the game mentally and, keeping them involved in all aspects of the game?
I mean, anytime something's going wrong, I would just try to say, come on, let's go. We got time. Just try to get us going. But I mean, just vocally, I think we have to just talk to each other and just be okay with, criticizing each other and telling each other what we need for each other. Because at the end of the day, we're on the court together. So I feel like everybody matters. We just got to come together, man, and just do it together. That's what it's all about right now at this point.
2 more questions. Adam?
Hey, Josh, I just wanted to ask, because it's third straight game that Marcus hasn't been able to play with you guys. Do you feel like that's kind of affected the way you guys have been able to execute on offense and just his effort and everything he brings to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. Missing Marcus right now is no good for us. He brings a lot. He's flying around the court all game. So just, and a lot of us are missing shots. And, that's his strong suit right now is knocking shots down. So, not having him has been pretty rough for all of us, but it's no excuse. We got all this talent on the court. We have guys that have been here before, been in the moment. Like, that's what I tried to say all game. We've been here before. So, whether that's the beauty in this team, having all this talent. When somebody goes down or somebody needs to step in for somebody, they can get it done. And just tonight we didn't do that.
Michael?
Yeah, Josh, I kind of piggyback off that too. I mean, obviously, and it's not an excuse, but I mean, Coach Hurley was talking about energy. Obviously, no fans in the stands and stuff like that. But what are you personally doing to kind of, keep the team's energy up? Just because, I mean, on a big play, I mean, you might be hyped up, but with no crowd interaction there, what's that been like for you, and how are you helping the team with that?
I mean, me personally, anytime I step on the basketball, I'm excited to play. Like, this is the sport that I played all 18. I just turned 19 years of my life. So anytime I get on the court, I'm excited to play. Like, that's my approach. This is a good opportunity for everybody. So, I mean, I feel like we all just need to be excited to play basketball, but we're in a pandemic. We all had to sit down for months and not play, locked out of gyms, in the crib, not doing anything. So, I mean, I feel like that should be enough motivation right now, man. It's people that want to play, and it's teams that haven't even got their season kicked off yet. So, I mean, how much more motivation does a team need, man? We're playing basketball right now. That's the most important thing.
Last question, Ethan.
Yeah, Josh. So Hurley talked about y'all maybe not making shots. You went 1 for 17 from 3 today. Can you put anything on the reason that you guys have struggled to make shots in games and sometimes down the stretch?
Man, that's part of basketball. That's part of basketball. So, when shots aren't falling, we got to make up for it somewhere. So when we're not hitting shots, we can't let the defense make shots, so we can close the gap. And, man, we just practice, get in the gym, man. I'm trying to stay in the gym. I'm missing too many shots individually right now, but I'm working on trying to stay in the gym and get better. So this is nothing that's gonna last forever. We're gonna pick this up very quickly, especially after a game like this, man. Like, this is insane that we lost this game. It's kind of like unbelievable. So just gotta get back in the gym, man. Lock in, like really just lock in.
Thank you for the time, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Josh.